I put my faith in you. They turn their backs on you. Man, I'm never going back. Man, I'm never going back. I put my faith in you. They turn their backs on you. Man, I'm never going back.
Hello. Welcome back to Against All Odds. I'm your host, Rebel Ray.
And I'm Mark Collins.
And it's good to be here, you guys.
Yes.
So, my energy is kind of like, I'm celebrating, I'm happy, and kind of somber too.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
A lot of things happened over the weekend.
Yeah, a whole lot.
And, we're going to talk about that. We also got some announcements for the community, just to let you guys know what's happening. COVID, the governor sounds like he's going to try to release us by June 15th, but it's depending on the actual counties.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things going along with that.
I think a lot of people are tired of COVID. I
think they're over COVID.
Oh, man,
definitely over COVID.
Goodness.
And the first announcement is Art Collins, Against All Odds, and my nonprofit, the People's Empowerment Center, along with Balloons Over Bullets. And also, I believe Faith in the Valley is going to be coming in there. Wow. But we were able to connect with our Black Council here for Juneteenth, National Juneteenth, the day that we see as Emancipation of the Slaves. And so also with the Black Chamber of Commerce as a sponsor, we are coming together for Juneteenth, y'all.
Juneteenth. Yes.
So this is like a first time ever collaboration with the youth of Stockton that we're really coming and seeing. They're going to have a heavy presence.
Yes.
You're the first one to hear it here on Against All Odds podcast.
Yes, definitely.
I will be out there as Rebel Ray, but also as what I do best and engage the people and bring therapy. We're going to have a couple of little dope little scenes going on. And so tentative right now, it's supposed to be at Weber's Point. And so we're hoping to get all the way cleared to make sure that we can go forth in that. But we are now collaborating. I've talked to all the nonprofit CEOs.
I'm excited. It's gonna be nice.
And the elders of the community were very welcoming. They were so just elated to hear that the young people really wanted to come out and really show force. And so we're getting on track, y'all. So we're going to be bringing Juneteenth, June 19th. Look for us. The event should be posted on Facebook. Right now, the place says TBA, but I'll update that. But yeah, we're all working together.
Yes.
We're super excited.
Yes, and I would like to say one thing. Rachel did an awesome job spearheading the Juneteenth festival for you guys, so you guys can have something out here in the city of Stockton, because a lot of the times we go elsewhere for Juneteenth, So, I tip my hat off to you and
thank you
to everybody else involved. Definitely.
So support your city this year. Again, Stockton was one of those cities that got really, really hit by the pandemic because there were already disparities here in the city of Stockton that we were dealing with. The income gap compared to the housing, right?
Yes.
It's been a big problem along with a lot of other things. However, this is your time to try to support Black local businesses here. There will be vendors, merchants, nonprofits, and resources. We'll also have a healing tent sponsored by yours truly and the People's Empowerment Center. This healing tent, we're hoping to get a yoga instructor to show y'all some stuff. Also a healing circle, a drumming circle. We know that's indigenous to our belief systems and celebrating Juneteenth. And jumpers. We're looking into see if we can have a car and bike show. We know
that's gonna be great.
That's gonna be dope, isn't it? Dope.
Yes.
Along with a list of performers. And one of the things we can say is in there is the all mass citywide choir.
What?
Come on now.
Well,
all mass citywide choir. I can't wait to hear.
I love mass choirs.
Come on, I do too.
Especially when they can just sing to your spirit. You know what I mean?
And you need that.
You need that.
We need that right now in this time where we're struggling with the disbelief. We're struggling with the pandemic, not having enough resources, the time it took to get resources, and just any other loss that you might have experienced. So, we're going to be doing it in a good way, social distancing.
Yes.
That's going to be heavily enforced.
I mean, they opened the theme park, so a couple of them.
Come on now. So this is your way. Let's come together, Stockton. Share this video and this announcement. Let people know. They can contact me, or they can contact the Black Chamber of Commerce. And also there's a Juneteenth Council. I will have the number to call and the website to call next week if you're interested in vending. So if you're interested in vending, we have vending opportunities.
Definitely.
Sell your products.
Yeah, sell your products at this Juneteenth. And reach out because there's slots available. Get them while they last, because I'm gonna just tell you right now, they're not gonna last that long. No. All right. So,
and we only have like maybe 45 days to pull this off, but we will pull it off. We're very determined. Shout out to DeMar Johnson.
Shout out to DeMar
and Aaron Chapman. They were the young people's champions. Again, Aaron Chapman works as a community organizer and spoken word poet here in Stockton, California. He works with the youth hand in hand. And so shout out to him. He's been working very hard. We've been just coming together weekly. Art Collins in there. And then also with DeMar Johnson with all the events that he's doing with Balloons Over Bullets.
Proud of that brother, man. I'm really proud of him. He's
really coming forth. So shout out to that. So before we get into our discussion today,
can we just
No.
discussion?
No. Okay, let me hold on to my head. Let me fix you.
Oh my goodness!
Y'all hold on to your pants. So you remember back when Rebel Ray was like, okay, Art Collins, that will be dope. I'ma bring it.
Give me another bottle of water, please.
And I'ma bring it, and we're gonna handle it on the podcast. Do you remember that, Art Collins?
I do remember that. I dreadfully remember that. I thought
soon after.
I didn't know you were serious. Okay, I was like, I'll play into it.
Soon after I said they didn't arrive, they came at the door, y'all. Yeah, I got it primed. And guess what I got in here?
Oh Lord.
Well, goodness.
She got me on some Fear Factor stuff.
Chocolate dipped insects. Yes, I did, y'all. I want us to monitor the comments. Let's just take a moment to take that in.
I don't know if y'all
chocolate dip insects.
Y'all better heart it up if I eat one of these insects, okay? Because
no, listen.
When it comes to food, I promise you, I'm very picky. I don't eat everything, and I'm just doing this for y'all. And hopefully I don't die on the spot.
Listen, you're not gonna die on the spot.
Oh my goodness.
However, we're gonna keep you to your claim. So I wanted to just open it up in front of everybody just to show you that we are not playing. Okay,
it's real.
It's a real thing. I didn't get no gummy worms. You know what I'm saying? RT delivers. You know what I'm saying? Because RT is for running things. No. Okay, so I went to Hot Links, and it's made in America. It's made in America, and they're genuine insects. It says chocolate has been around since the 1500s. We know. Insects have called the earth into mouth since the Stone Ages. That's what their ancestors was doing. That went over some of y'all heads.
Hey.
We wasn't in the Stone Ages. We were down in Africa in paradise. Hello. Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody. Anyway, we was eating the fruit of the earth and the fishes and the loaves and the was it honey coming down from the heavens? The manna.
The manna
from on high.
From on high.
We didn't have to eat no insects. So today it is a delicatessen. Did I say it right?
A delicacy?
A delicatessen.
She said a delicatessen.
Now listen.
That's fine. There's words.
I can't. Y'all know I can't talk. Super educated, but can't talk. It's these
God, man.
Okay, listen. So our Collins, I just ate something too. Somebody pray for us. Let's say a prayer. Let's say a prayer. Father God, in the name.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. I'm taking it out of the package.
Hey, this is serious, y'all. This is not a game. This is look.
Come on, man. I'm a beast. Let's go. I'm a beast. Okay. All right. So I'm opening up. I guess these, if you can see, like these bigger chocolate ones, and then they have worms. So he said he was eating a worm.
The worm seemed like the safest thing. I mean,
Okay.
What are you eating?
I'm eating a cricket. That's what I said. I'm eating.
Look.
Help us.
That's gonna
and
sound,
they got
that's
nothing
crunchy.
in here sealed. I'm not breaking my nail trying to get this. So go ahead, handle that. Open that up. Give it to me. We can't trust them, y'all.
Look, just so y'all know, we ain't playing. Look, crew member, don't get in the feed. Just put it right in front of the camera so they know we ain't playing. Because I ain't about to be eating this and y'all think I'm playing about what I'm eating, okay? All right, so y'all see that? I'm doing this for y'all. Okay, thanks.
Daniqua, help me, Daniqua.
Jeez.
I see you watching.
Gee.
All right, here we go.
Oh, my goodness.
Woo. All right, Archons, grab
so I only
your
have
worm.
to eat one, right?
You only got to eat one because we promised them we was going to do this. All right.
Lord, I just want to say a prayer real quick.
Okay.
God, please.
You better stop. You just blaspheming. Listen.
Please let us be raptured up right now.
I ain't
Forgive
ready
everybody in this room for everything we ever done.
I ain't ready. I ain't even going to play like that.
That's
you take my body.
Give us all.
No, you take my body, my spirit might go the wrong side of the end. You know what I'm saying?
I forgiveness right now. Lord, forgive us. Oh my goodness.
Woo, I ain't rapture ready. Okay, Jesus, I'll be the first one to admit it.
Look at this.
Okay.
My mom is all on here talking about you said it.
Do it. Okay.
Come on, show it. Eat you a worm.
Woo. Okay.
All right.
We gonna do chocolate or white chocolate?
Which one is the worm?
The worm is the long one, bro.
All right.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
So you're gonna taste yours first because you're gonna explain what it tastes like, and then I'm gonna taste.
I gotta taste it.
Yeah, taste yours.
I
bro.
can't swallow it.
No, bro, you gotta eat it, bro. That's what they said. You say you would eat a worm. You didn't say swallow a worm.
I see. She got me. I didn't see the fine print.
Come on now.
I didn't see the.
Come on.
The.
Come on, eat it. Chomp chomp.
I didn't think she was gonna do it, y'all. But
you already know.
Rebel is crazy.
Y'all know how I get down. All right, let's go.
All right, go ahead.
Ooh, yeah.
Let me prepare. Let me prepare myself.
How you prepare, you better not spit that water out.
Mm-hmm.
I know that much. Don't spit that water out.
Oh my God.
Help us.
What am I doing right now? This is out of my
element. They waiting. So come on, pop it in there.
All right, go ahead. You first.
No, bruh. It was supposed to be you, bruh.
I said I was
down, bruh.
But what if you don't eat it though? She trying to play.
I'm gonna eat it, y'all. I got it right here. Come on.
All right, so look, if she don't eat it, she ain't a woman in y'all word. Y'all heard it. All right, I'm gonna with this. Okay, I don't know how to work, but I'm going to try to eat this. So y'all don't think I'm playing. Look, this is a chocolate covered worm. Okay.
Our college, they get it. Put it in your mouth now.
All right. Oh.
Wait, what happened?
I hate it. Go ahead.
He's not right. You're not right.
Y'all done see me? I knocked it down.
No, you didn't, bro. That was the coldest
right.
switching their hands ever.
Okay, all right, y'all gonna see it. Okay, look, here it is.
Okay.
Look, so y'all see it again. You barely can see it.
Put it in your mouth and open your tongue. That's what you're gonna do.
Do you see that?
Open your tongue. Open your tongue.
Jesus. Hold on, let me just 1 second. I got it. Hold on.
This is ridiculous. This is 5 minutes now. He did this on really national camera.
Listen.
This is national camera. People can see this all over Facebook. Go ahead, YouTube channel. Come on.
Look, y'all. I'm sorry, the crunchiness got to me. I'm not. Hey, look, hold on. Here we go. Look, can I just swallow this, please, Rachel? No, for real. Come on. Hey, Rachel, I want to keep my word. Please, just let me swallow it. Please.
I can't breathe right now.
I'm not good with texture.
I can't breathe. I'm about to cry.
I'm serious. Oh, I feel it, the aftertaste.
What was the cry?
All right, let me get the white.
What was the cry?
I need the hot chocolate.
I heard a falsetto.
This is really
I heard a falsetto, dude. What was on it?
Hey, I was having a good day after this, Rachel.
I can't. I'm about to cry my eyes.
Oh my God.
I'm going to do this because I know our people are just.
No, go ahead. You just motivate me, please, because I'm serious. I'm going
to do mine. And
I'm not fear
It's going to motivate you.
Okay.
Woo! I got this makeup, tears, eyelashes, all in down.
Y'all don't even know it was.
Woo! Okay.
Here, look. Let me get the white one. Let me, because some of the chocolate came off.
Okay.
I need the full. Look, it's the full thrust. The chocolate, the white chocolate is on.
Did y'all hear that falsetto? He said, "Ooh, ah!"
I guess this is part of my bucket list, y'all. That's what I'm gonna say. All right, so
I need help, Jesus.
I heard the cricket had protein in it. What about the worm?
Bro, that's why I went ahead and did the cricket, bro. You see, you gotta read, bro. People eat crickets all over the world, but they don't eat worms.
I don't know. It just seemed. I didn't know it was gonna be crunchy.
I gave the worm to you. Okay, here we go. Betty.
She really ate it. Hey, y'all, she's really chewing that. Hey, look. You know what? If I ever
tastes like a Rice Krispie treat. This tastes so good.
I'm taking Rebel Ray with me. You hear me? Hey, look. All right, here we go. Here we go.
It's all in his head, y'all.
No, it's not.
Woo! This is good. This is good.
No, it's not. Don't let it lie to y'all.
Who are them? I just ate the one with the head on it.
Oh my God. Oh,
that was good.
Hey, give me a.
It tastes just like it tastes just like a whatchamacallit.
I did it. It's gone. Look, it ain't no fronting. I ate it.
All the water.
Okay. I ate it.
I'm just trying to figure out where all the water is. You know what? It's not even funny no more. You a hot, stinking mess for this.
I'm sorry.
What are you doing?
I'm just making sure that.
Making sure what?
Please, hold on. I'm serious. Rachel, you think I'm playing? I'm not. I don't have a strong stomach like you, Rachel. All right, look. This is just in case. I don't want, viewer discretion is advised.
You walk off the TV. Walk off the TV. Please, don't throw it on the
I think I'm good, but just in
I
case,
told you not to throw up on the TV. Can someone give me a napkin for my face? I know it's makeup. I should not have worn no makeup. Our God, he tried.
No, it's in my mind right now.
It's in his mind. They can still hear you. Oh, go over there off the camera, our college. That's happening.
So y'all think I'm playing?
We'll be right back. And we'll be right back with the next segment. Y'all, he gone, y'all. He can't come back. Oh my God. Y'all pray for him. Y'all pray for him. He got the crew members. The crew members, they're really worried right now in here. Oh, God. Oh, we can't make this stuff up. We can't make this stuff up. Oh, God. He's serious. Oh, God. Okay.
As serious as a madness.
Hey, Siri, go away. So, anyway, we were, after we got through all of that, he's still going, y'all. Poor thing. After we got through all of that, you can find these on Amazon. I got them pretty cheap. And they're by hot links. So they have insects for y'all. They were fresh. They tasted wonderful. Getting back to the subject. So the next thing at hand, I can't make this stuff up. This is why you don't go live, because stuff like this happens. And you would definitely never, ever get this anywhere else. Okay. Maybe one of those game shows. Anyway, I can't make this stuff up. While we wait for R. Collins, I almost didn't make it, y'all. I must have laughed my stomach. We wanted to talk about the outcome of the George Floyd case and how it seemed like we couldn't breathe. We couldn't breathe because right when we were getting that verdict that we needed and we needed to hear, here comes another excessive force of to a young 15-year-old. Now, there's different stories out there that kind of talk to why she was wielding the knife. But 4 shotgun chest gunshot to the torso, very close. I'm wondering if there could have been another situation. And this is me being sarcastic. I wonder if it could have been another outcome to that. And so I'm really trying to figure out and help myself understand, don't open that door yet. Will it be an ability to one day go without feeling like we're a threat when we call for help from the police? And oftentimes we've called for help from the police, and things like this happen. The perpetrator, which is not seen as the perp, may be the actual victim, right? And so there's this kind of mistaken identity, but a child's life was ended. And then it was a lot of other things that I was displeased about, just seeing just the fact that she had to call for help, wielding the knife, the reason why the knife was wielded. It was some type of altercation or physical altercation they claim was going on. So one of the situations I feel, I don't know where I stand on this one, right? What would I have done in that situation? She was attacking someone, probably in a fit of a response, right? What do you kind of do with that? But I don't quite know what to say about the George Floyd case. I'm happy and is victorious. A lot of people felt the survivor guilt. Again, standing by, watching him die. Shout out to the young girl. Maybe the crew members can give me, I'm not really good with names. The young girl who videotaped the video. I believe at the time she's a young 19-year-old girl. It took tremendous courage for her to sit there and be able to do that and take that video of something so tragic and so traumatic. It's important that we support her and pray for her, because there is some PTSD she's definitely dealing with. And she talked about it at the trial. I know, and just shout out to the ones that tried, from the MMA fighter, retired MMA fighter, to the off-duty EMT. and different ones who was calling to Chauvin to get off of his neck. So we're responsible for our brethren, y'all. Even when we don't know it. So I wanted to lift them up in prayer today, lift the families up in prayer of Dante Wright and the young lady. I want to say her name is Michaela, the young 15-year-old that's just lost her life when we heard the verdict. And against all odds, we will continue our fight. Art Collins with just lifting up, what God has done for him and his testimony, and just the causes that lead me on a day-to-day, being able to see the tremendous work that we do in the community, but seeing the outcomes, it really helps also. And so I just want to lift that cause up. The people that you don't always see preventing police brutality, having those courageous conversations with the police, and advocating for our kids, shout out to them. I know as a social worker, as a Black therapist here, it's sometimes hard to do that. So Art Collins is back. I cried off my eyelashes for you.
Hey,
the crew members
I
were scared.
did it though.
You scared the crew members. They were like, "Is he gonna be okay?"
Crew members, I'm good. I promise you, I'm good.
Listen,
woo, hey, but I did it for y'all though. I did it for y'all.
What? Let's look at these comments because they couldn't believe what was going on.
Hey, I'm telling y'all, I ain't never ate a worm in my life. Okay, and that thing, just the texture of it. Look, I my stomach get funny from eating tomatoes, let alone a worm. Okay, like you see, I had to change the whole outfit. It was bad.
Listen.
Mm-hmm. But I did it though.
You did it.
I did it. You feel me?
An overcomer.
Yes. How many of y'all got eating a worm under y'all belt? You feel me? I can go on Fear Factor for losers. You hear me? Loser.
Shout out to Taylor Loretta, which is mom Loretta. It was Darnell Fraser. She was at the time she was 17 years old, and she was able to keep that video of George Floyd. And a lot of the jurors, now that they're opening up about the trial, they said it was exhausting on them. But the medical examiner and the ability to have the footage, and they said that footage is really Darnella. That footage is embedded in their head, and a lot of them have to get therapy themselves from the vicarious trauma. So I'm glad we were able to see that through.
Yeah.
And he changed the world.
Yeah, he definitely changed the world. And he's gonna more than likely change a few laws, because they have a law coming out that's going to prevent the police from doing certain practices when they arrest you. So yeah, it's sad, man. It's a very sad thing, but at the same time, it's a sigh of relief. It's a bittersweet thing, a sigh of relief that justice was served, because we all watched, this man murder George Floyd on national TV. Whether you were on Facebook, whether you were on the news, whatever you was on, you saw it somehow. And just pray for Mr. Chauvin, because he has a soul too, and hopefully he can.
He had a very perplexed look.
He did. He thought he was going to get off. He thought he was going to get off.
It was like
he couldn't believe that the police.
It was like his privilege card was revoked.
Yeah.
From the country club. Mm-hmm. What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, buddy. It just like how it wasn't coming to your conscious mind to get off of Mr. Floyd's neck.
Yes. Yes.
And sometimes people just process slow, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. So it was a very disturbing situation. And what really bothered me was what was going on while the verdict was being given. And that was sad.
Yeah. And I just talked about that. Yeah. We got to lift up our young people. a lot of young people are dealing with the bullying. They're dealing also with some of the negativity that's been happening because of the digital divide, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So we need to just be mindful.
Definitely.
Be mindful.
Definitely.
It's one of those situations where if you don't check in, they're not going to check in with you. The suicide rate, again, I sound like a broken record, but it's continued to rise, you all. Just with people not being able to gather socially, having that social interaction. It was a reason why I said, fret not yourself to gather with the assembly of God or the brethren. See, I try to get all religious.
We know what you're talking about.
What's that scripture?
Forsake not the gathering together, something like that. Yeah.
Of the brethren.
What's
but
that?
Yeah, I almost knew. But it's really understanding what we need in America today. I'm looking, my crew member is sending me some things.
One interesting thing was that I think a lot of people thought that it was going to be a hung jury because, it was like a jury of his peers half and a jury that wasn't of his peers half. So, a lot of people thought that, but I guess everybody in America right now is, I think everybody's tired. I don't think it's just us. Everybody is tired. People like Rodney King just want to get along. We want to, you know what I mean? Get over this COVID stuff, get over all this police brutality. It's sickening, y'all, and I told you guys, as long as it keeps happening, I'm not going to stop talking about it. Rebel Ray's not going to stop talking about it. We're definitely going to.
Well, we got to live it, bro.
We got to live it.
If you care about us, you will be an ally in this fight. They were quick to rally behind our Asian brothers and put out a fight against. They are passing a bill. There's a bill now that is being looked at to call Asian hate, any attack on Asians, as a hate crime. Now, how many hate crimes have we had? We didn't even have a hate crime in the Dylan Roof case. It wasn't considered a hate crime. So they're trying to pass that on the assembly. We have to keep our voices being heard. We have to advocate. I know it sounds like beating a dead horse, but guess what?
That horse ain't dead.
It's not dead.
The horse ain't dead.
It's not.
Until that horse is dead, we're gonna keep beating it. Okay.
And the excessive force, and how much of a threat of intrinsic demonization of blacker skin or darker skin. You're scared. You're more fearful that you gun down like a dog, a 15-year-old girl, and in their mind, she looked like a grown woman. She was shaped like a grown woman and she was wielding a knife. She's a threat. So it's that type of language that you have to not feed your
mind. Then this is what we all got to look at, because a lot of people say, well, she had a knife. She was going, okay, first of all, I got two things I want to say. First of all, the first thing that they go for in situations like that is the gun. The taser is for less lethal situations. All right. Now, in my mind, he should have used the taser, and then think about this. When he shot her, he overkilled her. He kept shooting her. You see what I'm saying? It was like, oh, I'm justified right now. She got a knife.
4 times.
I'm going to shoot her multiple times.
4 times to the chest.
Multiple times.
And it could have been a disarming shot. It could have been a shot to the ankle.
It could have been a shot to the ankle. Because a knife, guess what? There's a chance that, knife wounds, there's a chance that the other person probably wouldn't have gotten brutally injured. And even if she would have, a bullet is worse. And then this is my other point. I don't know if any of you guys have seen some of these videos that have gone through the internet where you had some of these. I seen one video where a white male attacked a white officer, literally socked him in his face, was talking crazy. Then the dude went and stole the cop's car.
And he was released on bond for saying that he was at the time his mental health was affected.
And then there was another gentleman. There was many stories, but these are some that just stuck out. There was another gentleman who was convicted of 2 murders. I mean, not convicted, but he did 2 murders that day. The police arrested him And you know what? They're bandaging his wounds. They're giving him water. He didn't even drink
When
the water
Dylan
himself.
Roof-
Look, they're doing this to him, for him.
When
while he's
Dylan
handcuffed.
Roof killed all those black folks, including a congressman in a historical black African Episcopal church, y'all, in the South, walk right in there in prayer service and executed
Yes.
all those people,
Yes.
elders, kids, a congressman holding Bible study, trying to pray with him. Where's the campaign? I'm just saying that he got a hamburger. He got Burger King.
Yeah.
Brought to him.
For sure.
Because he needed something to eat.
That's sick. In my mind, that tells you where people's minds are. Some people are sick in the mind. And I'm not talking about the one dude who did the murders. We already know that's a given. He's sick. Anybody going around killing people in the church. But the people that, take this lightly, like they're like, oh, here's some Burger King and here you go. But guess what? You see, I mean, and this is countless.
And the few, I have to say this disclosure. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No.
The few black folks that went what we call postal, because that's an actual term from somebody working at the postal office and actually shooting up the postal office. Violence has rigged America for years. Just look at it. There have been a couple of blacks, and it's taken on that world view. And a lot of them had that military background and took it on that Western colonized view of things and wanting to go back and take it to the man. So there has been a few. But the majority have been white males who have been able to mass shoot up, buy guns the same day, and engage in mass shootings. So,
it seems like, the stupid crimes, well, all of them are stupid. But I'll say this, like when you hear somebody getting eaten or, just the sick crimes, you notice this particular races that do certain crimes. I was incarcerated with an individual named Hacksaw, right? And I didn't want to know why they called him Hacksaw, but he was in the hole. I was in the hole. He was next door to me. I was seeing him through the gate when you can go to yard. I was in the hole. I was cutting up, but I was in the hole, and he
told on himself, so he don't need you to tell it.
Yeah, I'm judging myself here, Lord. So he told me, that he cut his grandmother's head off.
Well,
and there's a lot of heinous crimes that.
So many things come to my head, but I'm gonna be good. I'm not gonna be the rebel in the Ray tonight.
Well,
I'm gonna leave that one alone.
And the reason why I say that is because it's like some people can get away with some of the most gruesome crimes, the most horrible crimes. You know what I mean? And some people can't. Some people don't even make it to the jail cell. Some people get court held in the streets. Some of these officers are holding court in the streets on some of these people. They're like, oh, you don't deserve to live. Pop, pop, pop. You see what I'm saying? But when you got other people cutting off heads and all that, it's okay for them to survive. I said it. I don't really care what people think.
Interesting how you have that unbalance of the justice system when Lady Justice is supposed to be blind. So
and that's a deep statement you just made. Because I often thought about that when I was on the yard and I seen 300 blacks to 30 whites.
Right.
I often thought about that,
because they're locking y'all up at a higher rate.
I'm like, how is there 300
giving you higher
blacks,
stackable sentences?
300 blacks,
it's a known
400 Hispanics, and 30 whites.
Yeah,
like that's not justice.
Yeah,
that's not being treated equal.
And don't give you no rehabilitation. It's not no real rehabilitation in there.
It's not.
But that's something that's an ongoing situation that we're facing.
It is.
Any good news?
Well, I ate the worm, y'all. That is going to be, y'all gonna hear that for about 6 months, okay? Because I have never, ever in my life.
I just don't want to laugh on you. I laughed.
Okay, it's out. It's gone. It ain't here no more.
I'm sorry. I did not. I couldn't stop crying, you guys. It was horrible.
It's gone. But I would like to switch the conversation to you know, a lot of these deaths. I don't know if you brought it up, but you know, you've had a lot of celebrity deaths, a lot of rappers dying simultaneously for some reason. It's crazy, you know, and I see a lot of people saying, oh, you know, they're legends and this and that, you know, but how I look at it is, this is how I look at it, you know, because some of them to me aren't legends, you know, and I'm gonna just keep it 100. But this is how I look at it. I grew up listening to some of these dudes, you know what I mean? Some of these dudes, you know, when I was in my days, you know, going to the clubs and all that and partying and all that, you know, I was listening to some of these songs like Humpty.
All around the world. Song.
Nah, that's a little too old. I mean, I was a little too young for that one. Well, even the Humpty dance, I was a little too young for that. But when they used to play it, we used to turn up.
Yeah, shout out to him. He actually made his mark with the Digital Underground, and he is now in the hands of the Father, hopefully. Said he was a good person.
Yeah, he died in Tampa Bay in his hotel room.
Yeah.
You know, and that's that's just no way to die. Like, you know, I definitely don't want to die, you know, like that, you know, by yourself. And, you know, I mean, you got to die by yourself anyway, but not in that kind of situation, you know. And I don't know. I mean, like, you know, it was, you know, we had lost Shock G. We lost Black Rob. Who else we lose? DMX, you know. And the reason why that one really kind of got to me a little bit more than all the others is because he did have a relationship with God. He did, you know, have a conviction in his heart of God. That's all he talked about. Even when he was, you know, in his prime and performing before 400,000 people and all this stuff, you know, he would go backstage, lay down and pray and cry out to God. Some of these guys want to change. Some of these guys have a heart, you know, for God, you know. But I will say this, you know, don't judge that man because you don't know where his soul went. And I will tell you this, you know, how I feel. I feel like there's going to be a lot of surprises in the kingdom of heaven. You know what I mean?
Well, if I make it there, I'll make it in. Praise the Lord. But one of the things that came to my mind was even deeper consciousness to Black music has been lost. And so that means two things when a civilization goes through that. And we've gone through it many of times. We've had the Black Renaissance, the booming of inventions and art, and the creative mind and genius took part. Then we had a reawakening of the new Renaissance in the 80s, where you did have people like Digital Underground and some of the other old school that not talked about just the girls, money, and the cars and the fame. They did talk about the consciousness of the movement. We're losing some of them. And so I am worried about this new Renaissance.
Oh, it's ugly.
We have some consciousness out there. And when I say consciousness, intellectual, emotional, spiritual, mental, higher frequency thinking. When you can lyrically spit something off a text that you read, off a sacred text, off a dictionary, an encyclopedia, factual things, and you can lyrically spit that and bring that up to your mind, you have a high intellect. I'm able to do that and recall all that information.
Definitely. You know, and one thing people may say, well, you know, some of these guys were doing this and doing that. Well, for the Black culture, you know, music brought us together. I mean, if you go back to the slavery times when we were working in the fields, you know, you would have, you know, some of the slaves singing. Why? Because it would give us a mind state that, hey, everything is going to be all right. Let me just, I can go forward. You know
it's part of our DNA, brother.
It is. It definitely is.
In Mother Africa, that is the way of communication. It's by song. It's by hospitality. And it is a tribalism and it's a good tribalism though, because it's a village concept. That I cannot leave my brother behind.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, even with that being said, I would like to say this. Now that we're speaking about some of the legends that they consider legends in, you know, hip hop, and so I'm gonna make an announcement for you guys, right? And this, I wasn't gonna do it. I was just gonna wait. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to give you guys everything that I'm going to tell you. But our Collins will be doing a song with a legend, R&B legend. All y'all know her. all y'all know her, right? And I'm gonna just keep it like that. You know what I mean?
I hope it's Kelly Price. I like Kelly.
I trust me. It's pretty. It's gonna be interesting. So stay tuned for that. You'll see that in the next few months or so. Depending on when we decide to put it out. But.
Okay, so we're ready for it, and we're here to support you. And again, keeping y'all heads up out there. We're kind of changing. The weather will be changing this Saturday and Sunday.
It's raining.
It's raining.
Tomorrow. It's Saturday, Sunday.
It's raining Sunday. It's a little bit of Monday, but we need the rain.
I don't need it. I'll go ahead.
We need it. Our crops and everything need it. And just staying safe out there, y'all. Talk to your loved ones. Continue to talk around the round table about this race thing and what we're gonna do about it.
Yeah.
And is it actually? I want to probably bring a specialist in. I'll look into it. I hear a lot of our counterparts talking about victimology and that we're victims. That we continue. We continue to walk in our victimology and our victimization, and that we should be healed now and you should move on because I refugeed and immigrated here. I saw another brown person say that they were of Eastern Syria, something like that, and they were refugees. And they said that's the problem with y'all. You know what y'all mean. The entire Black race. That's the problem with y'all. Y'all continue to excessively use your victimization to cripple you. Right. So I hear that argument a lot. So maybe we could talk about that next podcast. Because I hear that a lot.
And who I don't hear that about? Who went through a lot like we did? The Jews. When they speak about the Holocaust or anything like that, it's like, hey, let's get behind them and rally behind them and support them.
Now, the reason why you don't hear about it in your circle, other people are saying it. You do have people who are of a Palestinian background.
Yes, we're talking about here in the United States.
Okay.
And we're talking about the masses out here in the United States because we have a thriving Jewish community in all over the United States. And it is what it is. I love y'all anyway. Some of this stuff, I try to just zone out. You know what I mean? I try to, I don't even get upset no more. I just look at it like.
You got to stay woke though.
Yeah.
And just because it gets on your nerves about hearing it doesn't mean that it's not happening.
Yeah, definitely.
You can't just close your eyes and say, oh, this is the reality I want to see. You can, but you're going to run into something.
You speaking right now with that.
You're going to run into something. If you don't wake up and see some things and patterns, it will never change. And guess what? I'm raising children. So I want this world to change. I have to make a stance and a difference. And I got to use my platform, y'all. So y'all write into us. We always want to hear what y'all have to say. Yeah,
definitely. Before we cut out, I want to read some of the comments. Hey, Vernell. Vernell's my cousin. How are you, Miss Vernell? Love you. She said, I hear y'all, but in the same breath, we are still being, okay. She has two comments I want to read. We are still being murdered by the police, and we, as a Black people, have to figure out a way from them murdering us out here, like what they doing. All right, so then the next comment says, I say that it's not what it is in the music. It's what you do with the music for the dance and let it go. Don't take the music and make it your life, or it's the way of life. Groove to it. But she's telling the truth. Like sometimes, like us as a culture, sometimes if the beat is nice, and the hook is good, we grooving. We ain't even paying attention to some of the words sometimes. You know what I mean?
Well, the ancestral inside of that heartbeat, that drum lives in all of our spirits. It is in our DNA because it comes from Mother Africa. So when we hear that heavy bass and that drum, we get to moving. It don't matter if you in the church house. Do a little shimmy.
Ain't that crazy how awesome God is? He gives different nationalities their thing. You know what I mean? Everybody has their thing, and this is just our thing, so
groove to the beat. But for the murdering, in order for those things to stop, the capitalistic mindset here in America is that If you don't have economic value, you don't belong at the table with the big boys when we're playing poker. Now, that's real coded. So let me break that down for y'all. Many don't respect the Black community because we're not loyal to ourselves. That's number one. Jim Crow and the teachings of, help me.
The 13th Amendment?
No. What's the teachings that they taught? They taught
Light Against the Dark?
Yeah. What's that called?
I forgot.
The teachings of what they did to deprogram us, we're still seeing that today, y'all.
Yes.
So in order to organize from them to stop killing us, that's just like herd mentality.
It is.
If you go in a herd, you're more safer. So why don't we come together? There's too much dissension. It needs to be one thing over the other until we get that campaign done. So if we're rallying against police brutality, please do not get all riled up when someone, a troll or somebody, gets in your feed and says, well, y'all killing yourselves. Hold on, brother. We're talking about Black Lives Matter because, first of all, when we do call the police to the hood, we want to make sure that we ain't shot for calling the police.
Man, like that.
So let's get that right, buddy. Right? So when you talk about us killing folks and us killing our own selves, is all over the world. Cain killed his brother. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of that murdering spirit comes from that. It's intergenerational trauma. And that's a whole nother topic.
You're speaking right now.
But, you know, in consideration of what we're trying to do as a mass macro race, we are needing that from the American civilization and society as we know it. We need that, at least in Northern America. There's colorism that's happening all over the world. Black people were dispersed, a diaspora of Black people all over the world. Our influence is felt all over the world, and there's nothing to be ashamed about being brown skinned. Mm-hmm. But we must unite.
We got to unite.
Africans are not better than your stolen ancestors. Let me say that again. Let me breathe. Because I hear some of my African, Nigerian brothers and sisters and some African brothers and sisters. Y'all think y'all can come over here and do it better. You can't come over here and do it better. You know why? Because our ancestors were stolen from the land that you were able to be reared on, because we're not cattle. I'm listening to my mama's teachings right now. And they were taken, tried, persecuted, hung, throat slit, everything that you can think of, mutilated, raped for years, hundreds of years, just so you can come over here and have an opportunity. Okay? I don't know where you were in the civil rights, and I don't know where your family was. Mm-hmm. But I knew where my family was, and we fought. For y'all calling us lazy over here in America, we're all brothers and sisters.
We are.
And if you have not fought this oppressive fight, you don't know what it is to live Black, stay in your lane. That's to everybody. Definitely. Stay in your lane, because you don't know what it is to see another Black person killed again and again and again in our neighborhoods and on national TV. That is trauma.
It's traumatizing. It is very traumatizing, and you're making a lot of wonderful, great points, you know, and I would like to add to that, you know, we as a people, you know, in our communities, wherever you're at, you know, we have to definitely come together. We have to get out of our mind state that, hey, you know, this person, I don't like this person, or, you know, if you don't like
she lighter and with good hair.
She lighter with good
y'all,
hair.
some of these terms were embedded in us. They're as propaganda, and it was passed down.
It was. It really was.
It's no such thing as good hair or bad hair. I'll rock a lace front, but I'll also rock my natural. And if sister girlfriend wants to rock a strawberry lace front, you tell her to go with God, and she looks great, queen. That's how you uplift one another,
let
y'all.
Let her be beautiful. Let him be beautiful.
Come on.
You know,
we express ourselves in color. Y'all ever notice that about Black folks?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We have such a rich heritage, you know, and we need to embrace that and embrace each other. You know, when you see somebody, you know, when you see one of your own, you go and, you know, hey, how you doing? How you doing, loved one? Or however you greet.
Acknowledge them.
You know what I'm saying? Don't.
How many years have we lived on this continent? People just did not acknowledge us, or they cast out our actual history. They whited out our history. They stricken us from where we came from.
They did.
Yes, they did.
Inventions that we came up with, we didn't get the credit. And, you know, things,
history that we came up with.
Did you know
philosophical teachings?
Did you know that with when Christopher Columbus took sail, that he had a slave there navigating him named Estevanico?
Yes.
And this slave did not get the credit for guiding Christopher Columbus to find what they called a new world, even though this new world already existed.
There's a ginger named Isabella, I think it is. Somebody, crew members, look her up. She's in the royal family. She was a black Moor. Mm-hmm. Y'all, she was a black Moor that married into. Are you talking about
Queen Isabella from France?
No.
Oh, okay.
Look her up. Mm-hmm. She was a black Moor. She was light-skinned and red bone, y'all, who had reddish orange hair. But her hair was thick and kinky. But she married into the British royal family. Send that information to my phone, y'all, so I can share her name. It's stuff like that y'all have to pay attention to. Know your history, dig a little deeper. You know, and talk to your kids about what they used to do to us. You know, it's important that they know, so they know what to look for. Mm-hmm. So her name was Isabella, and she was the daughter of banking heiress Lady Mary Gay Curzon and John. Wow, I can't even say this. Astrothrogo Calthrop.
That's a cold name. Anyway. That's a name? Calthrop?
That's what it said. No, it wasn't. No, not this Isabella. Look up the Isabella. I think her name was Isabella, and she was like in the 16th century or the 15th century.
I thought you were talking about Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand, that Christopher Columbus went and kind of they funded him.
One was supposedly one had a daddy that was a black Moor, so she was half black Moorish. Got it. Yeah, but they try to dress her up and sweep that up underneath the rug. But there is people in our history that our history is so rich.
It is.
You know, take pride in that. And when people try to put you down and they try to say you didn't contribute anything and all y'all do is complain, y'all talking about Black Lives Matter. Y'all have to be ready for those conversations and not get irritated.
Yeah, and you know, I think we handle things the wrong way, you know. And you're so right. You know, I think when we hear some of these statements and some of these things, you know, we go back into, you know, anger mode, and you know, when we should be handling it a whole lot differently. You know, I think personally, in my opinion, that, you know, we have come a long way. You know, with the positive out of this, we have come a long way. We had a black president. We had. They
gave us that because they knew
they gave us.
They had to give us that because they knew they did another 4 years. We was gonna tear the whole thing down.
Definitely. You know, we had a black.
That
president.
Was a pacification.
It was a pacification, but I'm going to count it as a positive.
All right.
Know, we had, you know, it was such a sight to see little black girls and a black woman going into the White House. Mm-hmm. And why did they call the White House the White House? Because it was white. It was
built by slaves.
But it was built by slaves. You know what? The United States was built by slaves. You know, the reason why we boomed economically and in the Industrial Revolution and all these things, guess what? It was built on the back of slaves and those blacks who may have been free, but some of them still were slaves. You know?
So Britain's black queen is called Queen Charlotte.
So it's
Queen Charlotte. Yeah, Queen Charlotte. And she was the wife of King George III, an American actress, Meghan Markle. They compared her. That was the last. That's where I saw the article. That was the last black that was married into the royal family. So her name was Queen Charlotte. She was a red bone, y'all. She was light skinned. She had like little freckles. She was like a ginger. So you know, that's really cool to know.
Yeah, you know, one thing about us as a black culture, and I'm going to one of the questions that one of my cousins, said, one thing we do is we sometimes, and I'm not saying all of us, but sometimes before we meet somebody of the same race of our culture, we automatically have these negative connotations in our mind, and these preconceived notions prior to us even holding a conversation with this person, and then, another thing we have bad is if one person or two people tells you that they don't, I mean, this happens in a lot of places, cultures, but definitely in ours. One or two people tell you, hey, I don't like that person. Guess what? You ain't even met the person and you don't like them. You see what I'm saying? Which is crazy to me. I think,
production of self-hate. That's what.
Yeah. Like, one thing we have to understand, we're the most forgiving race in the nation.
Other than the indigenous Native American.
The most forgiving, right? But we can't forgive our own. Think about that for a second.
Again,
me included.
Deprogramming yourselves because that was placed in you. It's also in your genetic DNA. Whether y'all believe it or not, that trauma is passed on. It is. Certain social values are passed on unconsciously. We have unconscious bias even about our own.
Yeah.
A loved one told me today, and I really love her with all my heart. She moved to the other side because she saw some young Black kids smoking weed on the street. She was driving her very expensive bike. She moved to the other side of the street. Now, this is a Black woman doing this with Black kids. So you have to be careful not to fall into the fear mongering and the propaganda. Really look within yourself. Practice mindfulness, y'all. That means practice being still. Kill some of the noise that infiltrates your spirit, infiltrates your mind, influences you.
That's important. That is important because I think we hear a lot of this music, and we were just talking about this music. I'll give you the negatives about it. Some music, some of these movies, where it's showing us killing each other or talking crazy to each other, and guess what? The man behind the check is like, oh yeah, push that to that community, and even when the drugs came in, push that to the community.
They didn't care what the outcome was.
They didn't care what the outcome was, and they wanted the outcome to be bad. And guess what? Think about the 1930s, 40s. We were more together as a race then.
We were flourishing.
We were, we came together. Why do we have to come together when over a verdict? Why do we have to come together like that over a verdict?
Well,
and say, you know what? If this verdict don't come back how I want it to come back, we ready to go, knock some stuff down. Like
right. And let me be clear for everybody who may be doubting us. We're not saying that we're ungrateful. We're very grateful for the progress that we're making.
Definitely.
God rest Mr. Floyd's soul.
Yes.
Because he gave up the ghost before all of our eyes nationally and internationally, just so we can say that we got a conviction from a police.
Yeah.
Okay. Nationally, on a national hindsight. But it's disturbing that we have to celebrate that. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? It's disturbing.
Yeah. Families come together when there's a death. That's when everybody want to love each other. We crazy. And this is something psychologically embedded into us, and we don't even realize it. It's programmed into us. Let's try thinking outside of the box. If you see somebody that you normally wouldn't like, and I'm gonna just say it's somebody from the other side of town, right? And they may even be a rival gang member, or somebody you went to school with who you didn't like. Try changing the narrative. Regardless of what they do or how they said or what dirty look they give to you, try changing the narrative within yourself, because I guarantee you it will free you. And we got to start somewhere. It starts with you. The change starts with you. You are the change. And I'm telling myself this too. I'm preaching to the choir right now, because believe me, if y'all want to know, if anybody's rowdy with his own race, it's been me, but I'm at the place in my life where, it's time to change the narrative, and we should all be at the place, especially you older ones. If you like 25 and up, and you still doing the same psychological, thing that, was passed down in slavery times, because that's what it was. It's a slave mentality. You're tripping. You know what life should be all about is enjoying yourself,
traveling, y'all.
Traveling.
Get out of your
family.
Get out of your ecosystem.
Yeah,
you have a social ecosystem that's so close sometime in Stockton. You'll run into a cousin that you didn't even know. You got to be careful with taking in everything that comes to you too. When people say, hey, I had a dream, I had a vision, I had a thought, listen to it. And if it applies to you, it applies to you. But if you know it's something that's not linking up with the path that you've been praying for, you've been fasting for, you've been in your word, or you've been in another sacred text, or you've been trying to get yourself together, align with, don't receive that in your spirit.
Man.
Some people, they speak curses.
Man, somebody just mentioned the curse in the comments, about breaking those curses. And you know what it does? Let me tell you, this is what I've learned, right? And this is what I don't want. And when you have this kind of mentality, it imprisons you. You're the prisoner. Guess what? And then you're walking around with this negative spirit, and you're thinking it's everybody else, and it's you. If you are, it's you. It's me. It's you. If you are walking around and you're having these thoughts about people, you're going around, and people you don't even know sometimes. Sometimes you got to let that go. You got to free yourself. You got to free yourself of hatred, because a lot of us as a Black culture, we have a lot of self-hatred. We're thinking about what mama wasn't there, what daddy did, and a lot of us, I was listening to a preacher, he was talking about, a lot of us suffer PTSD.
Well, we have PTSD definitely embedded, and we have a lot of trauma responses. I will agree with that. One of the things triggers. Too, we have triggers, yes. And one of the things also too is the fact that, we have that self-hate that was taught to us about our hair and our skin. There's so much bleaching going on and straightening of the hair, and it's not loving your color. And it's been a reawakening of this. And
Did you see a long time ago, they did a experiment with a little girl, a little Black girl.
Yeah.
And she had the white doll and she had the Black doll. And the whoever was speaking to her said, hey, which do you think is beautiful?
Yeah. And that's the baby doll experiment.
And she said the white doll.
The baby doll experiment has been replicated over hundreds of times, with a white doll in the likeness of another Black or brown doll in the likeness of another child. And guess what? The outcome was the same. And that's how our unconscious self-hate has been embedded to our children. These were children who were 3, 4, 5 and chose that the lighter baby doll with the bluer eyes and the blonde hair was the good baby doll. Yes. And the Black baby doll was bad. Well, why was the Black baby doll bad? They made up some type of bad scenario and said that the Black baby doll did it.
Now, let me tell you how they do it sometimes. Now be careful what your kids watch. I'll give certain cartoons, and I don't know if y'all paid attention to it, right? Yosemite Sam, he was a Confederate. He said little terms like, when he would get blown up by the bunny or whatever, he would get mad and say, cotton picking dirty. You ever hear that? He I don't know if y'all ever heard that racial slur in there. Then you got to be aware of this. You go to the dictionary. What represents evil? Black male. You blackmailed me. Where does that come from? That stems from slavery times, and what they did was they associated Black males with scandalousness. Guess what? So, and this is what was taught to even the slaves. So when they say you blackmailed me, they mean this is a slavery term. And we use it to this day, and we don't even realize what we're saying. These things are embedded and programmed into our minds, and we don't even realize it. And guess what?
That you're saying it.
We start walking it out.
I taught Maya that we don't go on picnics. And I told her that. I said, it's a barbecue, or we're going to, sit in a park and eat. And a lot of you don't know what picnic came from. In a time in this an unforgotten time. A lot of people don't want to believe this in history. People of the South would go pick a Niggr, and go to lynch him for fun and entertainment and show. And that was a picnic. And so they will
pick a nigger.
Right.
Yeah.
And so had lunch and was able to look at a castrated male hanging, swinging from a tree or whatever device that they had at the time. So it's reteaching, deprogramming ourselves to hear the positive about ourselves.
You know what I do?
Recognizing Black greatness and excellence.
I'm going to tell you, you know what I do for my kids every day, and whether they know it or not? I program my kids. You know, what I tell my kids whenever I wake up or any chance I get, I may tell them, you know what? You're smart.
Mm-hmm.
You're beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
You're intelligent.
You're
going to be somebody someday. You know, and we need to
use impose.
You know, and the thing is with some of our Black families, what we do is you just like your daddy, or you know, I can't stand you, are just little words that you don't know that embeds within it. Embeds in you. You're putting these things into their spirit, and you're creating a character. When kids are young, they are impressionable, so they're trying to find out who they are. And if you're telling them and speaking these words into their life, you are telling them who they are. And guess what? You get mad when they grow up and they start shooting folks, or they go and join the gang, because you put things in their mind to tell them that's who they were.
Well, I just want to say I'm guilty of that sometimes, especially when I'm agitated.
Well, you got to change that.
But I have a little girl who has a lot of power.
She does.
And she said, when I said, "Oh, you act just like your daddy," she said, "You picked him."
Oh, well, see, that shows you how in tune these children are. You see what I'm saying? This is what they say. They say in the first, I want to say, 3 or 4 years of a child's life, they can learn the most. So you got kids that are 3, 4, 5 years old that know how to speak Spanish. They know how to speak, English. They know how to speak, but get a little older, right? And get a few things in your spirit and stuff like that. We as adults, once we get things branded into us, it is hard to teach us. So guess what? Don't keep doing the same routine of, start putting some good things into your child, and I'm speaking specifically for the Black culture, because we got that bad. Mm-hmm. We got that really bad.
If you look at Dr. D. Gray, I told you all about post-slavery syndrome. One of the things that she picked out in her book was the fact that, and again, I'm going to say this, when mothers would have their children at their side, and especially young Black males, and they said one of the reasons Black mamas kind of downgrade Black male accomplishments in front of everybody and rejoice for them was the same reason on why they withheld the child when the master would come see the child and say, "Hey, he looks like a good child. He got good teeth. He got a good build on him. I'm going to take him with me." So a lot of them kind of downplayed their ability of their children. She said that survived. That survived in our unconsciousness. So when our Black children are uplifted by the community or up at school, or they have outstanding enrollments and scholarships, a lot of times the Black family unit or the mother itself, in a protective fashion, tries to downplay the accomplishments of the Black child. But to the Black child, it looks like they're not supported. That's one of her theories. So looking at that post-slavery syndrome, she picks out some of the psychological unconscious biases that affect our behavior now.
And it's true, and I'll give you guys, it's so many examples, of kids that, when kids are young, they want love. They want to hear love. They want to see love. They want to grow, children, and if you don't have the father in the house, or if you got a lot of single fathers now too, if you got either one of those and there's something lacking, or if you are in a situation where you are poor and you go to work every day and you're not able to parent your child like you want to parent your child. Look, let me explain something to you. I grew up, my mom used to spoil me, don't get me wrong, but there are things that happened in my life that I caused based off of what I learned. Okay. Now, things that I learned and things that I saw, and I'm not talking about my mama, because my mom, she was a truck driver, and she went and worked her hard out. She had to, go and work, sometimes 2 weeks at a time just to provide, but when mom wasn't home, things that I saw, things that I heard, things that, some of these things get embedded and branded in your spirit. And guess what? You take on another character. You see what I'm saying? Your children right now are at the age where you can mold and shape them. And the reason why I'm even saying this is because we have to change the narrative. And it starts with the children.
Well, you
because
on fire
some of us
tonight,
are already
brother.
stubborn.
Come on now, you on fire tonight.
Some of us older ones are already stuck in our ways, and some of y'all ain't gonna never change unless you something happened to you like it drastically happened to me. I had to go to prison and get my freedom taken away from me to realize that, hey, I'm tripping. What am I doing? And thankfully, I thank God that I had the mind
epiphany moment.
Yeah, I thank God that I had the mind state to want to change myself. I had to deprogram myself. And then when I left my mom's house, there was a lot of things that I entertained.
So I think one of the things that will help that is continual mentorship.
That's very important.
Our young black men who are able to mentor a younger black man.
That is very important.
That would be awesome, right? That's how you can support your community.
That is actually one of my passions that I'm actually going to start getting into, because I'm going to be honest, I think prison really messed me up. And I'm going to tell you in the way it messed me up. I did 10 years straight, and I'm open about it. I speak about it because it was a part of my life, and it drastically changed how I think about life. It made me a non-sociable person. I'm not really that sociable. Before I was in, I was very sociable. Now it's like sometimes I don't want to be bothered. Sometimes
there's some social anxiety that goes on.
Severe social anxiety, even when I get around groups. When I get around groups of people, I have to deprogram my mind mentally. So I say that to say this, PTSD is real. So when your kids are, even in order to change sometimes how your kids think, you have to change how you think.
Yes.
And if you're not changing how you think, guess what? These things are going to slip out, because like the Bible says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks, and whatever's in there is going to come out. And sometimes I'm going to just tell you, you think that you're helping. You think that you're helping because you're releasing the pain and things that you're saying. I'm a witness of this. It does not help. Okay. It doesn't help. So be mindful of yourself. First is self-help. It's self-love. It's self-care. You don't love yourself.
Yeah. And
you can't love anybody.
It's self-love. And then actually looking at, am I the problem? Evaluating yourself. And that's okay. And go find the help. Therapy is just a phone call away. Again, we're taking new clients at the People's Empowerment Center. We have awesome therapists. They're Black and brown therapists to help your needs. And you can call us and find us at the peoplesempowermentcenter.org.
Yes.
And it's important that you continue to strive for fulfillment in your life. If something is weighing you down, you struggling with depression, PTSD, trauma, right? Go get help. There's nothing wrong with that.
But see,
there's nothing wrong with being a better person and a better self.
Look, and it goes back to when we had James on the show. Like a lot of times, like when things are going, Mr. James Hewitt, and again, I appreciate him coming on the show, telling his testimony. But just going back to some of the things that were said, a lot of the times things happen in a home and we don't want to go get the help. Why? Because sometimes we are embarrassed, we're ashamed, we feel like a bad parent, we feel like a bad child. Listen, self-care is the best care. I'm going to say this, and then so when I was going to school, right, I thought I was dumb. I'm just be honest with you guys. When I was in school, when I was in high school, I thought I was dumb, and I had a problem with learning in class. I didn't want to I didn't want to ask questions because I didn't want people thinking I was stupid. You know, I had a lot of pride, self-pride, you know, and I would act like I was smart and then fail the test, you know, and when it all started hitting me, you know, when I came home, I thought about, I did graduate, by the way, I did. I went to continuation school and I dropped out of football. I was a beast in football and dropped out. I probably would have been like the next Mike Vick or somebody. I'm telling y'all, because I was a beast in football. But I dropped out. I graduated. And, you know, when things happened in my life and I went to jail, I came home and I went to college. I said, man, I got to start making changes in my life. I got to deprogram myself. I started deprogramming myself. I told myself, I am somebody. I can do this. Just, you know, I see so many people doing things and, you know, and I'm like, you know, you're no better than me. You breathe the same air I breathe. You put the same amount of feet down on the floor when you wake up. You know, you put one pants leg on and the other, you know, so in my mind, I'm like, I can do this. And I had to get to a point where I knew I could do this, you know, and having a support system helped because when I came home, I had a support system. My mom, you know, my church, you know, it did help me, right? But I had to tell myself this. Now, when I did, I went and did it. I said, I can do this. I went to college, you know. Then I started finding out that I actually was smart. I was doing some of these questions and doing some of this math and, you know, and listen, let me tell you, some of this math, you know, I was working with these spreadsheets and doing formulas and stuff like that and some of this math, and I was good at it. But I told myself that I was insufficient. I told myself this when I was a kid. And I thought this. The Bible says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And I walked that out. But when I started telling myself I am somebody, so this was today, I'll never let nobody tell me that I ain't somebody. And you shouldn't either. If you feel like you're depressed or if you feel like, you know, you can't make it, you feel like you're in a bad situation, guess what? I've been homeless. I slept in abandoned houses, abandoned storages. You see what I'm saying? You know, I got 15 felonies. And I'm just speaking real facts right now. And I want to help somebody because there's somebody out there that's going to listen to this and somebody out there that needs to hear this. You are somebody. Do not let anybody tell you that you are not somebody. You start taking actions to better yourself. You start taking actions to grow. And guess what? I promise you, you can do it because I did it and I am doing it. And I'm going to just tell you, I'm not cocky. You know, I'm not prideful, but I will never again in my life, never let anybody tell me that I'm not something. Because guess what? I'm something special. I'm a diamond. I'm a diamond in the rough. And if you ain't with me, then guess what? You're going to see me rise. You're going to keep seeing me rise. And you can do the same thing. Don't think I'm preaching to y'all. I'm just telling y'all. And I feel like, I don't know why I feel the ambition to say this, because I don't know, it may be somebody out there that needs to hear this. I don't tell everybody my story, but I'm going to tell you, I'm extremely blessed. More than y'all know, more than I even said. I am so blessed, and I thank God for it. And it came down to a thought.
Deep. And we can end right there. The church says amen.
Amen.
Amen and amen. Thank y'all for showing up tonight. Yes. Keep everyone afoot. Keep your ear low to the ground, but your heart open. Please. And make sure you tune in with us. Like the button.
Like the button. Because a lot of people
put your notifications on and share
notification button.
Our videos. We appreciate that. And hopefully R. Collins, with everything that he said, you know, you can listen with all your heart. That was wonderful, just to give a little bit of your testament. And it's truly being an overcomer.
Yeah, definitely. You know, so like the button, subscribe, hit the bell. So when we come on, you know, you can get some food. I mean, we trying to feed y'all, you know, and you know, it may not be worms.
We're not going to talk about that no more. Because I cried my whole right eyelash off. We're not doing that no more. We're not going to go there. We're not going to talk about it. When he sees the video and saw how he jumped out of the frame, y'all, anyway, y'all just...
Hey, y'all better not be spreading no memes about me, okay?
Oh, that's a meme. Somebody got to make a meme out of that, please.
Oh, no.
But thank y'all. I'm Rebel Ray.
And I'm R. Collins. And we love y'all. We love all of our viewers that tune in with us each week. Don't think that we don't love y'all. We love all of y'all. Thank y'all.
Together we're